Joining me now, as he does every week, is one of the finest thinkers of his generation, best-selling author of books such as The War on the West and The Madness of Crowds, Douglas Murray. Douglas, let's start with the biggest story in the world today. This morning, Australians woke up to the news that Donald Trump has been indicted. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's marathon and highly politicised investigation into the former president has been widely condemned by Republicans, including Governor Ron DeSantis. Douglas, we knew this was coming, but it was still somewhat of a shock this morning. As you wrote last week, the truth is you don't need to be a fan of Donald Trump to recognise that the charges are cooked up.
Yes, the charges, we believe, are in relation to a hush payment to the adult film star Stormy Daniels ahead of the last the 2016 American election. And the claim is that the hush money was paid from a campaign fund rather than from a private personal fund of Donald Trump's, and that therein lies a great crime. It's an extraordinary business, this, because clearly it is the intervention of the law into the American electoral process. There are all sorts of reasons why some might decide that Donald Trump is not fit to run in the next election and he shouldn't be the Republican candidate. I myself think that refusing to accept the results of the 2020 election should make him effectively unelectable for the next run. But, you know, that's up to the public to decide. And what's clear from this judicial hounding of him is that it's been decided that something he's done which nobody else will be pursued over should be the stick to beat him with and beat him out of the running for the 2024 presidential election. I think it's very dangerous, Rita, as I mentioned before. It's very dangerous because this is effectively trying to do democracy, not through the ballot box, but through the system of the legal system. And I think there's one other thing, which is this. Donald Trump will be quite happy about this. It's already been widely briefed out that he is. He'll be quite happy about this because he has been hounded since the moment he entered office in 2016 by a sort of deep state subterfuge that's always trying to get him out. He will present this as being simply the latest example of that. All of his Republican contenders who are running against him will have to spend all their time talking about Donald Trump, which will not upset him at all. And if he gets off, as is quite likely because DA Bragg is said to himself be worried about the strength of the case, then Donald Trump's very likely to be made the next American president by dint of this Democrat attempt to knock him out.
It is just a bizarre situation. I'm sure he's going to be raising a load of money out of this. The fundraising will go through the roof after today's revelations. And this is the sort of thing you expect in a banana republic. You don't expect this in the United States of America. And one wonders whether Bragg and Democrats in general will come to regret this corruption of the justice system. There may be some short-term gratification, perhaps seeing, you know, Donald Trump getting fingerprinted and in handcuffs. That might be the stuff of their dreams, but the long-term consequences could be quite grim.
Well, exactly, Rita. I mean, look back to what happened with Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon's, the accusations against him were far more serious than the ones that are being leveled now against Donald Trump. But it was decided that Nixon should be pardoned by his successor. Now, just look back to 2016. What was one of the very prominent chants at Trump rallies, which he encouraged? Lock her up.
Lock her up.
Okay? You know? But we all heard it, and you and I covered that election. But, you know, the interesting thing was that when he got into office, Donald Trump didn't try to lock Hillary Clinton up. It's bad for the democracy. It's bad for the democracy if it is seen that the ballot box is inferior to effectively well-waged wars using the judiciary. So there has been an agreement in America that the ballot box is supreme and that you don't do this sort of thing.